A long time ago. I can honestly hardly remember it myself, but I've written a book, mentioned it in my book. I know Gilly's written a book. He's mentioned certain things about that incident in his book. Sachin's now had a chance to give his side of the events, and I think we were talking off there. It sounds like all of our stories are a little bit different, so you don't know really who to believe there. But look, hand on heart, as the Australian captain, I know for a fact that I did everything that I was required to do as the Australian captain, and certainly did the right thing by society as well. I believe in you know, going to the umpires and telling them what had happened on the field. So, look, I've got no issue with it now. Look, hopefully now this book's done, it'll go to bed, and we can get on with just talking about some more positive things in the game of cricket.
There is one more book still to come, and that's Harbhajan Singh's himself. So once that's in, we'll have the full box set. It would be terrible in a court of law. No one's matched up the same story, but yeah, it's. For mine, it's old news. It's no surprise that Sachin was going to mention it, because it was big news. It was a significant moment in all our careers, unfortunately. But look, I don't think there's anything new that he's added to it. He's given his version. It differs a little bit. A lot went on, but sort of time to move on now.
And he hasn't really said much either. He just said that it was blown more out of proportion. Like, it was always going to be a big issue in the world game. There's no questioning that. But he said that I'd sort of inflamed the situation, whereas yeah, I'd been instructed by our board and everyone to make sure I did the right thing by the game.
Rick, the great loser out of the whole story, though, wasn't in the end Harbhajan Singh. It was your good mate Andrew Symonds. It was almost the beginning of the end for him and his cricket career. Did you have a chance to talk to him after the final verdict came through and they basically washed their hands of it, and Harbhajan in the end didn't get sanctioned at a level which he was expected to? What did you say to Andrew at that point?
Yeah, obviously we were in pretty constant contact, because I was his captain. He was still in the test team at that stage. But look, we felt a little bit disappointed with the final outcome and the result of it all. We felt that we had very strong grounds to go on the racial vilification charge as we went forward with. But at the end of the day, yeah, it was charge kept getting downgraded and downgraded with the threat of the Indians packing up and going home. So, look, we knew how big an issue it would be, and we knew, you know, how big an impact it would have on Australian cricket if the Indians packed up and went home. But by the same token, you know, Andrew and I felt that we had to do the right thing by the game.
Ricky, in a strange way, do you think it's changed the game in a positive way? Like, obviously it was a horrible thing for anyone to go through, and we saw a similar thing in the AFL with Goods, but some good can come of that sort of thing, in the sense that it can start to get rid of that rubbish from the game. Do you think that's happened?
Well, we'd like to think so, yeah. I mean, I made a pretty good stand and statement on my own behalf, I guess, as the Australian captain, to make sure that I was doing what I was instructed to do, but also what I believe is right, and what I believe is right both on and off the sporting field. So, look, hopefully it does have a positive influence on not only cricket but other sports in Australia and around the world.
Punt, you interestingly played with the Mumbai Indians in the IPL with Harbhajan. Andrew Symonds ended up in the same team as Harbhajan. Was that, and Sachin,
yep.
Was it ever mentioned in the change room?
And Anil Kumble was the mentor there as well.
Yeah,
he was the captain of the Indian team. So it was a tough dressing room for me to walk into as captain of the Mumbai Indians when all that stuff had happened in the past. But even then, when I went back 2 years ago, it was a long time ago that incident happened. Everyone had moved on. We knew what the outcome was. And unfortunately, as Howie said, if there was a loser out of the whole thing, it probably was Simo, because I still to this day believe that it was the beginning of the end for him with his international career. You know, he probably didn't feel that he could trust everybody he needed to trust, and he sort of spiralled downhill after that, which was pretty sad, because he was a great teammate, as you know. He was a great player, and he's one of those guys you just want to have around all the time.